Welcome to the Peak Performers Podcast. Today on the podcast, Thor runs Adam Walker through the rapid fire execution round, and we find out why Adam thinks you should definitely listen to your spouse more often, why he regrets taking on certain clients, and why he tries to get just a little bit better at saying no every single year. All that and more right here on the Peak Performers Podcast.
Welcome to this edition of Peak Performers Podcast with your host, Thor Conklin. Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
You know what I'm going to bring back for today's episode? You are one of a lucky few. You probably haven't heard this. Matter of fact, I know you haven't heard this in a long time. But Adam, you are going to be that person that brings it back. And that is the rapid fire execution round. In 1873, Cattleman designed a .22 revolver. It had 12 shots. Big revolver. You're going to have 2 minutes to answer all the questions, 12 questions.
Okay.
2 minutes.
Got
and
it.
the reason that it's 2 minutes is when you're going through your inbox, if you can get something done in 2 minutes, you knock it out right then. You don't delay. You don't put it on a list. You just do it. You execute it.
That's right. I love that.
So,
I'm a big Inbox Zero fan.
All right. So, are you ready?
I'm ready, I think. Yes, I'm ready.
All right. There's no calling your mommy if you get stuck. Person's phone call that you will always take no matter what.
Dad.
Most useful app you're currently using.
Todoist.
What time do you start your day?
5.
The person that you trust to tell you the truth, even if it's hard to hear.
My wife.
Your top priority in life.
My family.
Your top goal in 2017.
Top goal in 2017. That's tough. My family, honestly.
Name one decision in business you wish you had never made.
Can I list like 14 clients that I wish I'd never taken? Would that work?
Yes. For the last 16 years, I've been driven by the question of why some people achieve amazing results and others don't. The answer? 90% of their success came from their psychology. So if 90% of their success comes down to their psychology, what was the one thing that enabled them to produce the results that others were not? Their ability to execute. Their ability to get things done. Now, we all know how to get things done, but some of us do it better than others. And some of us are not even coming close to tapping our potential. So if you're truly committed to tapping your potential and really becoming a peak performer and getting the results that you need, want, and desire, take your phone and text the word BE Summit. That stands for Business Execution Summit. One word, BE Summit, and text that to 41411. I'm going to send out some additional information on our upcoming event that will truly teach you the science of execution. Most impactful speaker you've ever heard, and what did he or she say?
Probably Andy Stanley gave a talk about how leaders serve others. That was the gist of it.
One thing you must do every single day.
Drink coffee and get to Inbox Zero.
All right. How old were you when you knew you could be successful?
Does yesterday count? I think about 34.
Name one thing you did poorly last year, but you do better this year.
Focus.
The one thing to do when you're not working, your favorite thing.
Play with my kids.
Name the best decision in business you ever made.
Co-founding with a good partner.
Name a profession you'd like to attempt other than your own.
Public speaker. Or comedian.
Or a public speaking comedian.
Or public speaking comedian. That works.
One thing you were told that turned out to be the most true.
Man, that's tough. It's all about who you know.
Number one thing you'd like to learn in the next 6 months.
how to say no even better.
Name the one skill you have that you're most proud of.
Connecting with people.
Most meaningful book you've ever read.
Man, I would have to go with probably Getting Things Done. David Allen. It's a good productivity strategy.
I just interviewed him last week.
Did you?
Yes.
I will look forward to hearing that one.
The episode will be coming back or coming out soon.
That's
you
fantastic.
have passed the execution round. I think there's like 20 questions that are now in the execution round. I just realized that. It's like, man, this thing has grown. That's more than 12.
Those are some tough questions, man. Wow. Let me also say, by the way, that I do always answer my wife's call, too. So I probably should mention that.
Yeah, we have had a couple of these where I've done these. And so let's go back. Hold on. That can't air like that. Can you just please go back? And I've got to add my wife in because if she hears this, I'm dead.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm
fair.
like, well, I guess we could. Have I sent my wiring instructions to you yet? That'll be $500, please. No.
That's right. $500 per edit, I think.
That's right. Exactly. Edits are expensive, man. They're expensive. How much is the marriage worth?
Don't say it if you don't mean it. Don't say if you don't mean it. So.
That's right. I'll give you a bonus question. If you had an opportunity to interview someone, anybody, dead or alive, and you had an hour, who would it be and what would you ask?
I would interview Rich Mullins, who was, it's a very long story, but he was essentially a Christian musician that was a very interesting man, lived his life in a very interesting way. And I would probably ask him how he came to view things so differently than everyone else.
Very good. We are at the end of the show, and the audience wants to know how they can get a hold of you and find out more about what you're doing.
Well, let's see, several ways. First, you can follow me on Twitter at AJ Walker. You can also find me on my blog at adamjwalker.com, where I blog about all kinds of leadership-related things and sometimes even things related to being a dad of 5 kids. You can also, I also have a podcast, so that's called Tech Talk Y'all. You can find that on wherever you get your podcasts. And then, of course, my company's website is SIdeways8.com, and you can look up all of our craziness there about websites and digital marketing and other such fun items.
Great job, Adam. I really appreciate it. I know the audience is going to get a lot out of today's episode. And, it was funny because we were talking before this episode, and you're like, yeah, I've got to redo my website. Not mine, yours. And I'm like, well, wait a second. You're a website guy. And I said, how old's your website? He said, just a couple of years. And, it's really interesting because I think most of us kind of get the website done. It's like, oh, it's done. I don't have to worry about that. And then as soon as you kind of get it done, not too much time goes by and it's like, all right, you need to look at it again. It really is the face of your company.
Yeah. You gotta keep it up to date. And I think you can refresh them, but ultimately it's got to get a makeover every now and again.
Great advice. I appreciate all the insights, and we look forward to having you back on the show.
Thanks. I look forward to it as well.
Thank you so much for listening today. I really do appreciate your time, and I hope you found today's show valuable. If you would like to receive these shows automatically to your phone or to your computer, simply go to iTunes and subscribe. After listening to several of the shows, if you're so inclined, please leave us a 5-star rating, as this helps us reach additional people and spread the message. If you're truly committed to taking your life to the next level and doing whatever it takes to become a peak performer, but something's holding you back, something is blocking your way, and you just can't seem to figure out what it is, send me an email to info@thorconklin.com, and I'd be more than happy to get on the phone with you. We'll schedule a 15-minute discovery call. No obligation, no cost. I absolutely love to hear from the listeners, and if there's something I can do to help, I'd be more than happy to do that. Also, if you found something of great interest in today's show and you want to share that with your friends and family, simply go to my Facebook page, Thor Conklin, click on the episode, hit the share button, and share it on your page. You can follow me at Twitter at Thor Conklin. The website is thorconklin.com. We're constantly adding new free resources, discussing additional tricks, tips, tools, and strategies on how to be a peak performer. Remember, I try to keep these episodes short so you can listen to them during dot time, doing other things, commuting, driving, walking, working out. Decide to be a peak performer in all that you do. And until tomorrow, have an absolutely amazing day.